I'm Mark Zonder, and thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to give you a tour of my drum tracking studio in Los Angeles. I'm going to show you the control room that has all the old vintage analog gear for that punchy drum sound that everybody wants, to the tracking room that has the drums, the cymbals, the mics, and all the percussion. I'm going to also show you from a financial point of view to a creative point of view how I'm your guy that you want to use to track your stuff. Whether you're tracking country music to progressive metal, I'm the guy that's going to deliver high quality, album quality drum tracks for your music. So from a creative side, I work in a number of different ways. We can start with a chart. Maybe you have an exact part that you want done. I can track that for you. That's not a problem. All the way to, hey Mark, go nuts, play every riff you ever known, just go nuts, I want to hear a drum solo throughout. Usually the way the process works is I take your song, I come up with a number of different ideas, I play it down, and we start going back and forth with MP3s. You listen to it, you let me know I like this, I hate this, I can't stand this, what were you thinking during this part? And we go back and forth and work it out to the point where you get it exactly the way you want it. From the financial side, let me explain the benefits of using my service. Let's say you're going to go in and record a song. Okay, you got to rehearse with somebody. That's time, that's money, that's gas. Then you get to the studio, you find out that the engineer's late, he overslept. You start setting up the drums. Well, the kick mic doesn't work and the cord on the floor tom has a buzz. So let's say you get past all that. Finally, you get dialed in. The snare's just not like what you want, but the clock is ticking. And that smell you smell is money burning. So that process can take a lot of time and a lot of money and be very, very frustrating. With my service, I send you the track. You don't have to watch me set up. You don't need to sit around and hear me get drum sounds or anything. You get final product. You get to listen to it. I like it, I don't like it, change this, change that. Just plug it in, unplug it, plug it in, unplug it. You're good. It's very easy. It's not stressful. And more importantly, is you have the time to sit there, whether it be a day, a week, or a month, and go over your parts. You go to a real recording studio that has, all the bells and whistles and the girl in the front that gets you coffee that you're paying for. You leave that day, you're done. You can't really come back, set everything back up. My situation, my studio, never changes. The drum sounds are always consistent. You can come back to me, and clients have. 2 months later, 4 months later, and say, hey, this verse, we added a couple bars, we want you to play a fill. It's not a problem. It can be done. It sounds great. You never have a problem with it. So the consistency factor of my drum sounds and the fact that you actually can sit there and really study what you did and really critique and be as creative as you want to be as compared to being locked into a studio where the clock's ticking and money's going out the door and you have to make these snap decisions that you're really not sure about. It's not really a great way to make music. So using me sort of eliminates all those problems. So what I need from you to get this process started is basically a scratch track of your basic song. It can be anything from a guitar and a keyboard to a full orchestrated piece. It is important though that I get a click track or a tempo map so I know where I'm going with your song. Even if the vocals aren't recorded, it's important that I know where the verses are and the choruses are just so dynamically I can play to make the song the best that I can be. Now what you get back is all 13 files of the drum mics, whether it's the kick, the snare, the toms, the overheads. You get a nice compression track that I do using the old DBX 160s to give a very, very punchy sound. But more importantly, what clients always tell me is the most important thing they get back is I do a professional stereo mix with an engineer friend of mine that you get back of the drums. A lot of people don't have the equipment or the knowledge how to really get that big time drum sound that you hear on all the records. So I bring a guy in, we've got the old compression set up, got some of the new compression with the distressors, use a beautiful lexicon, and really create a great drum track. So you don't have to worry about mixing it. It saves you time, it saves you money, but more importantly, it really gives you a great sounding track that you probably couldn't get on your own. So here we are in the drum tracking room. As you can see, I've got my DW kit set up and my beautiful Zelgin cymbals. You're probably looking at this and thinking, wow, this is a really small kit. But actually, in honesty, a small kit usually records better than a larger kit. Spent a lot of time with an engineer friend of mine of dialing in the sounds for this kit. We went for a very natural, warm, punchy sound. And because of this, what I found is that whether it's a country tune or progressive metal tune, an engineer can take my drum tracks and make it work for either sound or anything in between. It's a very versatile sound. Also, you can see there's plenty of cymbals, and I have big racks of cymbals for various sounds. I like to go in and creatively on a song, listen to it and say, okay, this is a little darker sounding, so maybe I'll use my Ks and it'll be a darker cymbal sound. I know a lot of people don't pay that much attention to cymbals, but to me it's a big deal, and I like to use them to really color and paint the backdrop to a song. Obviously, you can see a lot of percussion in the room as well, and I do have the option. I've used electronic percussion for many years, and I'm very adept at it, and I can program up and sequence in different things or actually just play in samples as the song dictates. But I also like when I have the chance to actually play percussion acoustically and physically, as I think it just adds a little bit more of a warmer tone to the whole track. So from behind the kit, you can see that I have a computer station here. And what that does is when I'm tracking your songs, makes it very easy for me to stop, start, delete, record, erase. I don't have to get up and keep going back and forth into the control room. It's a very effective and efficient way to record. It also lets me move very quickly, and I'm very adept at turning around someone's track and not waiting 4 days, 5 days, a week or two to get it done. Now, obviously, we talked about drums and cymbals, but another big factor to me that I incorporate is, depending on the song and the mood, I like to use multi-rods, I like to use mallets, I like to use different kind of sticks. It's all about creating the perfect texture for your song. Now, for all you gearheads, basically I've got my kick and snare going through a Neve module. I've got the hi-hat and ride going through some old English Cal racks. My AKG overheads are going through a Manley and then going through a Summit EQ. And what's really cool is I have two Loughton Audio large diaphragm mics in the back of the room that are actually going through a Summit preamp and then getting squished through distressors. It gives that big warehouse, John Bonham kind of live sound that you can mix into your track that really gives it a lot of punch and a lot of, more toward that rock kind of thing. So basically there's 13 different inputs. Nothing goes through the console. Everything is going through an old vintage preamp, and then I basically monitor the drums back through the analog console. Now, hold on a second. First ball. Really? Thanks a lot. So I hope you guys had a good time and you really get a good insight and see what I really love to do, and that's recording drum tracks. If you need more information, feel free to contact me through my website, www.markzonder.com, or on Facebook with everybody else. So I look forward to hearing your stuff and giving you the big time, album quality, affordable drum tracks that your music deserves. Take care and we'll see you soon. I got to get back to the magic stuff here. Again?